Bayview Middle School students are rolling up their sleeves and preparing Suamico Cemetery for visitors this Memorial Day weekend. A group of 8th graders from the Apollo House spent the morning of cleaning up branches and brush in the cemetery. In addition to trimming trees and cutting grass, they also placed American flags in front of gravestones as part of their community service project.
They really have a nice ownership in this project. There are now some students who do have relatives or family friends that are actually buried in this cemetery. So we do have some kids that really take some personal pride in helping out this cemetery.
Teachers hope these students remember the importance of this project as they move on to high school. Stay with us, we'll be right back.